Alright, so you want to create your own Raspberry Pi project and you want to find a new mini computer to do the work for you. So, of course, you can go ahead and go to Raspberry Pi and just buy yourself the new Pi 5 or the Pi 4, which would be suitable for most projects anyways, and then boom, you go. But what if I told you that there are actually prices out there that can compete with the Raspberry Pi, and would you rather pay about the same and get something that is better with a case already made for you, or would you like to go DIY on a Raspberry Pi project you need to buy many different small parts for, and then maybe it's not that good? Okay, so in this video let's talk about that. Okay, so we're back. In this video we're going to talk about Raspberry Pi. I'm also going to present to you a few other small projects like this one here, GMK Tech, and the one here is called the NepoJai Mini PC 12 Gain. And then also let's go ahead and talk about a search on Amazon where you can go ahead and check out mini computers. First of all, let's dive down and say Raspberry Pi. It's a beautiful small thing you can go ahead and install anything you would like on. So what is the problem with Raspberry Pi if you ask me? If you ask me, the problem with Raspberry Pi is the micro SD card. It is okay. You can run many things on a micro SD card to boot up your Raspberry Pi. But there are so many things about the Raspberry Pi that need to take into consideration. So let's talk about the things that I find, well, more or less bad for Raspberry Pi first of all. Okay, so micro SD card, the speed is fine. Okay, so you can buy the upgraded NVWe SSD hat, I think it's called, and you can put it on. So if you go ahead and check out the hardware here on Raspberry Pi, you can check out, then you go ahead and buy the Raspberry Pi 5 somewhere with a rainbow, if they have it right now. That is another problem with Raspberry Pi. I know they are printing a lot of more Pis, like printing, creating, producing, I guess you call it, and then you can buy them pretty soon. On the Raspberry Pi, you can go ahead and buy any extension you would like. So you need a camera, you just scroll down, oh there's a camera, you need a button, you can buy a button, and you can put on a specific, screen and so on, so it's very customizable. And I wouldn't say it's easy to compare the Raspberry Pi to other small mini computers. So, what is it that is so desirable about the Raspberry Pi? Well, for many hardware enthusiasts like me, getting something in your hands that is like customizable, you can just set it up as you would like, go as you like, buy the things you need attached to it. You don't need to have a lot of space. Just the same way when you go ahead and buy a computer, let's say it's just, I shouldn't mess around, a box like this, right? Just a box, just a small box. Well, it's then easy and small and portable the same way as a Raspberry Pi. That is the thing you need to think about. So what is it your project you work for? How would you like to use it and so on? Okay, so recently I just bought a new Wi-Fi antenna. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you this right here. What is that, right? And I'm not gonna say anything, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm gonna tell you that it's got a USB connector here, and it's beautiful. Okay, so what I'm gonna use this for is going to be a small project for a mini computer. Now, if you want to see what this project is all about, you should definitely go ahead and follow up on this channel. Make sure to subscribe and wait for that video where this is a part of the thumbnail. Then you would know that I'm beginning to talk about what this project is going to be all about. And you probably guessed it already. It has something to do with... not going to tell you. Alright, so looking up on another mini computer, just say Raspberry Pi, we all know it, we've been there so many times. It's really beautiful, and the Pi 5 module is actually getting pretty powerful. You can get it with 8 GB or 4 GB of RAM, and it's really fast, and it's 2 to 3 times the speed of a previous generation. So it's actually pretty good. The only thing it kind of needs now before you can call it a real computer is like a graphic card, right? So 8 GB of RAM for gaming. People talked about gaming on Raspberry Pi. You can do that. You of course you can do stuff like that if you want to play Minecraft and so. It's fine. What you need to do is to buy something that can take the heat away from Raspberry Pi, and a more, maybe some water cooling system, something like that. That would be a great idea. Looking up on the other one called the Nipoji, or whatever we're gonna call it, mini PC 12-skin Intel Lake 10 N100 mini computer up to 3.4 gigahertz. Okay, so that's a lot of things. 16 gigabytes of RAM. Already now we are in another league. And you can say 512 gigabytes M2 SSD mini. Okay, so got a half a terabyte of hard disk, and you get different kind of, connector sticks, and it's a beautiful case. It's probably already, yeah, got all these things, Windows 11, I think. Yeah, for school, education, office. And you can just have it there. It's a beautiful small computer. So why not just buy these kind of things? This is a new price, but you can probably find it used, I guess, maybe in a few months or half a year from now. And this is still going to be faster and better than your casual Raspberry Pi. Let's go back to Raspberry Pi. 180 pounds, so that would be... Why am I on the CO UK side? Let's go ahead and change this to something else. Can I do that without messing up everything? Okay, let's just keep it for now. So 180 pounds that's, in dollars, that's a bit more in dollars, into the $200 mark. We can just try to say 100 pounds to USD. That would be $227 for, so around $230 for this one there, right there. Casually a lot better than the Raspberry Pi, but there's a thing here. This is not the same way customizable. If you want to mess with this and take it out of the box and everything, you can probably imagine going in the box with a screwdriver and messing something up and hitting something, not that great. But if you can get these compared to this, and now that we have an overview of the Raspberry Pi here, we can probably go ahead and search Raspberry Pi 5 price, and then go ahead and check out that this is going to be in my own currency. So let's go and check it out in another currency we can use. I did write price, so the one here, no, I want to choose another region. Let's just pick the region of, can I say United States? It would be easier for us to talk about then. So you got a price mark for around $80, $78 for the Raspberry Pi 8 gigabytes. So that would be about half the price if you need some other small extensions to it. And you probably will need extensions to it, because you need a casing. That's another $10. You probably need a hat for the SSD. Probably another $10 or $20. And all of a sudden, you're probably up at the $120 mark, and then you need a case, special case, something, because the original new Pi 5 case doesn't really fit with the hat for the SSD. So you need to go ahead and figure a way, and you probably need to mod the original case for the Raspberry Pi 5. So there are many issues you need to combat if you're going to say, I want to stick to Raspberry Pi 5 all the way. Well, you can do that. And the small Raspberry Pi unit is actually pretty beautiful. I will probably pick it myself, and this is where you have it, the actual casing. And if you take this, wow, okay, so let's zoom in on the image instead. So the new casing got an integrated cooler inside the case, right? It's a great idea. The only problem is that this case is limited to one size. As soon as you want to connect a SSD hard disk to it, it's just, you cannot do that. So it's a pretty bad thing, and we just, need to find a casing that, get the thing going. So this right here is a really good alternative. It's also around, I would say, it's hard to say double the price because it's $220, and when you get a Raspberry Pi with everything you need, you're probably up at the $150 mark. I'm just guessing right now, and half of that is well, the double of that is $300. So it's not really double the price, but this is also a particular production unit ready to go. And it probably, we can find a list of, what's inside of it. So we got RAM, 16 gigabytes, and we got, let's see, many different kind of connector possibilities. It's a small feature, blah, 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 but I would like to see the graphic card in there. Is it somewhere? Yeah, so you pick one white. Okay, so different kind of alternative actually go down to 159 pounds and would be still 3.4 gigahertz, but it wouldn't have a graphic co-processor. So that would be the one for 180 pounds we looked at just before, the one right there. And we have a UHD graphic 4K UHD dual display graphic co-processor, which is actually not that bad. So I would say if you want something with a graphic card, a lot of hard disk space, and well, a decent amount of RAM, 16 gigabytes, right? Then this $230, 180 pound unit is great. Then we have another one right there. It's the great contender. Many people talked about it. The GMK Tech box. All right, so you can go get the barebone one. You get the I think it's 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of hard disk and so on. And depending on which you pick, you get a different kind of deal where you save more while you go. So up to $199, which is still below when I picked the greatest, like 16 gigabytes and 512 gigabytes of hard disk, which is the same as the one from Nipoji right there. Let's go and pick that, and we get the lush screen colored. Who cares about that? And then we can say different kind of, there's a few things that change the price right there, but let's just keep it there for now. And we need to see the specs of it. It's so there are some specs here. We're gonna get the Intel 12th generation Alder Lake N100 processor, and it's pretty fast, multi-processing, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, but I need a bit more detailed spec overview, and I didn't want to prepare all this because I would like for us to find it easy to find it. So let's just take a look at it one more time. Yeah, it looks fine. Let's just take this. Let's got some videos when this Raspberry Pi become the villain. So yeah, I watched the video. I'd like to say that it is not the villain. This is the. There are many different kind of alternatives to Raspberry Pis. Banana Pi, coconut Pi, whatever they call it these days. I don't really care. But the thing is that either gonna stick to the original thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the copy paste things. So I would like to say this alternative right here is 6 megabyte of cache. Okay, 3.4 gigahertz, 4 cores, 4 threads. I think it's fine, 4 cores, 4 threads, so you can have multiple, cores working on different kind of tasks, which is really good. And the SSD card is double up the size, and the RAM is the same. So DDR4, decent amount of speed. I would say this is a pretty good small computer for the price. Even the speed of the Ethernet also seems fine. And where are we getting to with all this? Because I can sit here and talk all day about these mini computers and which one to pick and what's up and whatnot. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's wrap out all this video now. Conclusion, what is it? Okay, let's do it. The conclusion is that we should definitely think about which device we need to buy whenever we settle on a project. Whether you're gonna do a project about, mini server park, you're gonna create some cloud device, virtualization, something, you're gonna try and emulate some real traffic in some way from servers, depending on that, you know, you need a computer that can handle the stress. And I would say small home-driven projects where you go ahead and, you know, you need some unit that can, you know, be customizable, and you can put on a camera, you can create your own app to take the feed from the camera and so on. Well, the Raspberry Pi is your unit, right? It's for you. Whenever you need something that is a bit more, you know, stable, I would say, that runs, and the speed of the boot time is not where you put your money, because some people do talk about the boot time. It's so important for the boot time. The boot time needs to be good, and the boot time that, and the boot time that. Okay, so I wouldn't say boot time is important. What's important is if when it runs, right? So I would say if you need a computer that's for a somewhat larger project, you need to handle airflow and heat and stuff in a better way, you know, definitely go ahead and buy one of the other two here. And you can also go to Amazon and just go ahead and type mini computer, and then whatever you're gonna go ahead and sort it by low to high, and you're gonna get a variety of different kind of mini computers, like $120 ish. This is in pounds, no euros actually, so that's around the same. And you can get up to like 2.4 gigahertz, 4 gigabyte of RAM, and so on. VGA support, wow. And it's an okay small computer, and you can probably go ahead and use this for many things. So is the Raspberry Pi for you, or should you go ahead and pick the other ones? I think I presented the alternative for you without being biased. I am using both. I have a Mac Mini, I have Raspberry Pis, I have a real computer, and I also have a small computer, and they do have their own, you know, purpose. I would definitely use the smaller computers that are built with a case like this for servers to stand at home, and for small projects I can bring to school and boot something up and show for the students what is going on, you know, and make them understand what is up and what is down. Definitely think Raspberry Pi suits the purpose a bit more on that particular way. Depending on what it is, if I need to create a small cloud environment with 6 different computers communicating with each other, you know, like a classroom cloud environment where you have your own backend as a service and infrastructure as a service and different kind of things, you know, definitely think these kind of small computers that are built in with cases are probably a better choice, because they are created to run in different ways than Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi is not created to run heavy on a big load all the time. It's for small projects, and this is my opinion. So I hope you learned something from this video, and I will see you again next time.